Scooch. Drop top. What's up?
If young Metro, I don't trust you, I'm gonna shoot you.
Hey, you get the bag and fumble it. I get the bag and flip it and tumble it. Straight off the lot, 300 cash. And the car came with a blunt in it. Lil' mama a thot, and she got ass. That she gon' fuck up a bag. Pull up.
Welcome to the Surly Horns Podcast. This is Season 3, Episode 3, and we have officially paid players.
They got their checks, baby. We are bagmen. It feels so good. We are bagmen. We are SEC ready. We are done. We have dropped, officially we have dropped bags. By the time you're listening to this podcast, you've probably already seen us drop literal Whataburger bags of cash.
Full of cash. But not just any cash. Cash with these guys' faces on it and their jersey number as the denomination.
I've never wanted to spend an $89 bill before, but now I can. And I get to spend one Jared Wiley worth of cash now. It's a great number. So
it was so incredible. We thought this was gonna be funny, and then when we got there and we were actually doing it, it became surreal very quickly. So
you got to tell them.
We had this whole idea of how this was going to go, and we had talked about it for days. We've been planning this for a while. We knew we wanted to do a big media push, and we were like, you know what would be funny is if we stuffed like fast food bags full of cash, like fake cash.
Yeah, shout out Tennessee. Thank you for giving us the idea.
And then we gave them to the players with checks. And so we had this all planned out, and like we were mentally ready. We had talked about it with the players. We told them like what our plan was. And then we were like, you guys just need to tell us a time and a place, and we're there, and we're going to do this photo op. And we went to Matt's El Rancho for a very long lunch.
Typically.
A very, very long lunch. And we left, and we were going to campus, and we had the fake money, just a gigantic stack of this fake money.
The biggest pieces of paper that you've ever seen. Like, picture a dollar bill, and then like it's one of those like grow dinosaurs where you put the little capsule in water and it just keeps growing. That's what these dollar bills look like. They're fucking gigantic.
They're enormous. And so we're on the way, and we're like, what should we get? And then I just pull into the Whataburger on South First.
Which we're like 5 minutes away from like having to take this picture, and we're like 2 miles away, but in downtown Austin. So we're like 30 minutes away.
Yeah. We run in. I take in a $5 bill with me. I look at the Whataburger ladies at the counter, and I say, I need 7 bags and 7 of your large fry holders. And I was like, I'll buy something if I have to, but if you'll just give them to me, that's great too. And they were like, what are you doing? Are you filming a commercial or something? And I was like, we're going to drop bags. We're going to pay the tight ends. They were like, what? And I was like, yeah, check this out. And I ran back out to the car and grabbed the bills and showed them. And they were like, oh my God. And then they just handed me all the stuff. And then I tipped those nice ladies $5, ran out to the car, hopped in. We went 100 miles an hour over the South First Bridge.
That was the thing that happened. That was absolutely not a made-up story. That was confirmed. We went 0 to 100 fast as shit. And then the bags flew into my face. We were going so fast.
So we cut through downtown on Lavaca, and I'm thinking, yeah, fuck yeah, we cut through. We didn't get on 35. It was like 4:00 in the afternoon, so traffic was insane on 35, and we did great. We hit MLK, and it was a fucking disaster.
It was awful.
We hit MLK and Lavaca, I would say, at 4:02 p.m. And we didn't get to where we were supposed to meet the players until 4:19 or so.
Something like that. We're supposed to be 4:15.
We're supposed to be 4:15. I like to be early, right? So I don't like to be late, especially these players. They got shit to do. We're already asking a lot for doing the photo op and stuff. And so we roll up to the north end zone, and they're not outside. And I was like, fuck it, RGB3, you got to get out of the car. And he gets out with all the bags of cash. Oh, I forgot. You had to pre-stuff it because we were late. I was like, you got to stuff the bags.
He's like, grab the bags, throw them full of money. Just throw as many bags as you can full of money. So I'm just sitting there with these giant, like, Whataburger bags trying to stuff these Cade Brewer dollar bills into these Whataburger bags while we're going 95. And we finally show up. So Cade tells me, and hey, let's meet at 4:15 at the Julius Whittier statue. You know, no big deal. Like the brand new, awesome statue. And immediately I'm thinking like, okay, this is going to be just hot as shit. So, well, they just let us into the Hall of Champions instead. So we took all of our pictures and dropped bags in the Hall of Champions.
So I didn't know. I knew where the Hall of Champions is, and I'd been in there before. I had to park the car somewhere. I just left the car and put the hazards on and ran back to the Hall of Champions. I had to follow some very nice student in. I just didn't have my burn-in shirt on yet. So I just like ran in, and I saw RGB with all of the tight ends. And I was like, hey, guys. And all I had was a book of checks.
It was a literal, like, flip folder, like, old lady, like, librarian. Like, honestly, I'm surprised we didn't have, like, one of those credit card things, like, in Home Alone 2, where you put the credit card down and makes, like, an imprint. Yeah. So RGB is over here, and he is talking to the tight ends. And I'm like, hey, guys, sorry. The bank wouldn't give me pre-printed bank checks for you guys, so I have to write you checks. And I didn't know that we were going to be in the Hall of Champions. So I sat down in the middle of the Hall of Champions and wrote a significant amount of checks in the Hall of Champions in the stadium to pay fucking players legally. And I was in disbelief. I was like, guys, I cannot believe I'm writing you guys checks to pay you legally. Yeah, don't worry. We have a picture of this moment because it is truly historical. It is the first time any player has been written a check or probably received money legally above board inside of DKR, because that is exactly what happened. It was
from your boy, I'm a Mac. And I was just scribbling, handwriting all these fucking checks. And it was hilarious. All the guys changed into their shirts. Me and RGB changed into our shirts. And we were like, okay, like, let's take pictures. And they were like, yeah, let's take pictures. And they like pointed at the fucking Bevo in
right there
in the Hall of Champions, and we're like, let's do it there. And I was like, wow.
The best part, so I'm a Max writing checks to all the tight ends, and I'm sitting there and I'm literally handing out Whataburger bags full of cash to all these players, like, oh, that face on this fake dollar bill is Jared Wiley. Here you go. This one is Braden Liebrock. Here you go. And the guys were eating it up. Like, they weren't, I don't know if they weren't expecting like how hilarious this entire fucking process was going to be, or like what the catch was. Cause I mean, if somebody's like, hey, you know, RGB, here's 10 grand, you need to take a picture and like do like an hour's worth of work, I'd be like, what's the catch? Are you trying to, do I have to sell feet pics or something?
I just, you know, I was just besides myself whenever I had all the checks written and I tore them out of my, like, you know, business check binder, and I was getting ready to hand them to the players. And there was one player that wasn't there. Juan Davis was not present. And I wrote 7 checks, and I like looked up, and I was like, "There's only 6 of you motherfuckers here." And I like started handing out the check. I felt like fucking Oprah Winfrey. Here's your X dollar check. Here's your
one
check.
for you, one for you.
It was so great, and they all just lit up immediately whenever they got their check, and you can tell these guys are so excited, not just for burnt ends. They're really excited about the season. We got to sit there. We got to bullshit with them a little bit. They are really feeling the capabilities from the tight end room, right? They're really confident in the entire room themselves. They feel really good about how the tight ends are going to be utilized in this year's offense. And that was really cool.
2 at a time. I mean, I think that's the coolest part about it. We were talking with them, and they're like, yeah, there's going to be 2 of us on the field at any time. And that didn't happen with Herman, really. And, I mean, we could, not that we haven't been into it a billion times already, but, they did say, yeah, it's a marked difference between Herman and Sark and what they're experiencing in the current, locker room, I guess, and just in the overall team's atmosphere in general. And they did say that they were going to guerrilla butt fuck Louisiana. So that was their words. Definitely not mine.
So all I know is I didn't notice it while it was happening, but after, me and RGB jumped in a photo with everybody, and we threw up, hook 'em, and everybody else didn't. They were holding their money and stuff. And we didn't notice until we got back to the car and looked how hard we were cheating. Everybody else was like, some of them were smiling a little bit. Other ones weren't smiling at all. And me and RGB are just fucking ear to fucking ear.
Ear to ear. We were cheesing as fuck. Because this is every young boy's dream, is to be able to pay players. And guess what we just did is we fucking wrote them checks and paid players.
We were bagmen.
That's what the coolest thing ever is. Like, it's not just like, this is not just like a one-time, like, one-off thing. Like, we're talking long-term. Like, I was telling the guys when we were in there, I was telling them, like, look, we're going to have a football, and every tight end that comes through is going to sign it. And we're going to have, a burn ends football, and we'll raffle one off at the end of every year or whatever. Like, this is a perpetuity thing, to where, again, like I've said, every time I've tried to sell this, the burn ends program, this isn't just like, hey, here's your 10 grand check, send a tweet, fuck off. This is like, hey, we get to be involved in these guys' lives, like, to the point where, I want everybody on Surly to feel like these are their adoptive kids almost, or like, I am so fucking excited for Juan Davis to score a touchdown. Like, I'm going to cream my fucking pants. Like Gunnar Helm scores a touchdown, and I'm going to be like, oh my fucking God. Like I'm his fucking dad. Shout out Blake, who loves us on Twitter. Love you, Blake. But like, this is the funnest part about this, is not just paying these guys. It's having their involvement and having like a whole position group, like, involved with us. Like, not only is the name baller, not only is it like the perfect kind of position group for us to sponsor, it's going to be fun. Like, these kids can have fun. We'll have fun. Everybody's going to benefit. This is what college athletics has needed for years, and it's just never been available. And guess what? If anybody else, I'm getting on my soapbox one last time. If anybody else points at a crowdsourced deal, make sure you tell those bitches. I'm looking at you, Billy Lucci, you bitch. I know he's jerking his little fucking Aggie dick off to this right now. Make sure you tell that little wiener bitch that he got that from Surly Horns. This is the first crowdsourced NIL deal for a position group, bar none. And you motherfuckers are a part of it. And if you're not a part of it, get fucking right. Get your goddamn head right. You fucking get the orange flare.
2 coffees a month.
That's
or a beer and a nice tip for your bartender. That's all this takes for you to be involved with burn ends. And it's all above board, and you're not throwing it away, and it's not going, we're not keeping any of this money. PayPal is the only real company that's getting
Ohio
anything.
State, bitch. Yeah, the fucking Ohio State guy. Oh yeah, you guys are skimming 3% off the top. We aren't getting shit. I'm telling you right now, we are losing money on this, guys. We are losing a lot of money on this, guys. And until more of you donate, we will never. You're listening to your podcast brethren right here, and I can promise you right now, we will never accept a cent from Burn Ends. It all goes to the tight end room. If we sell a shirt and it's $15 to us and it's $25 to y'all, $10 is going to the tight end room. We don't fucking care. We don't want to turn this into a profit center. We don't need to turn it into a profit center. We want this to make the life of Jeff Banks and whoever he's recruiting, as well as the players in the room. That's the only people we care to benefit. And you guys can help make that happen.
And whenever we were driving away and we noticed that we were cheesing, we just could not stop laughing and smiling. We were giggling like little schoolgirls at what we had just done. We knew what we had just done was crazy, hilarious, totally on brand, and most importantly of all, we had the buy-in from these young men that they were excited about it, and they really want to interact with this community just as much as we want them to be successful.
Jared Wiley literally said, so we were like, all right, guys, whatever y'all do, don't go on the main board. Like, there's just a bunch of guys talking shit. Don't go on the main board. Jared Wiley, quote, directly, he said, a lot of the shit y'all say is really funny. He's absolutely been on the main board.
Yeah, I was like, hey, because I said everybody logins and all that. If you're part of the Burn Ends Club, you know, because there's a new button that shows up at the top that goes to the Burn Ends Club, and you apply for access, and as long as you're a paying member, you get access. And in there, what you'll notice is that all the players have access to that specific area of the board. And they have access to none of the rest of the board or anything. So they log in. That's the only thing they see.
Yeah, they have Burn Ends and IP in her butt. Those are the only threads they get.
Oh man! So I think that this is something that could be really special for everyone, right? It could be really special for these guys. It could be special for the guys potentially next year. And who knows, right? We really want this to go on 10 years down the road. And we were talking a bunch of shit a couple of podcasts ago, and we do think it is a reality that we can draw the best tight end talent and retain the best tight end talent to the University of Texas if you, for the cost of one beer and a generous tip, join the Burn Ends.
That's it. And that's it. And that's what's crazy. And if you don't join, you're a fucking broke boy bitch. Like, it's not expensive. It's not expensive.
I need to see the orange usernames with the flare on desktop.
There's no reason not to. I mean, Surly itself is not costing you anything. Tree Fitty. If you're in the Tree Fitty Club, you should already be more than above board for the Burn Ends. It's like you're getting free entertainment. You're getting free content. Like, you know, we're the only free content you're getting. We just tripled that. You know, in terms of free content, it's $10 a month. It's nothing. It's basically fucking free. If somebody, okay, so if you're walking down the street and you see a $10
double
bill,
meat Chipotle burrito.
If you're walking down the street and you see a $10 bill and somebody had taken it's solid. It's not a liquid turd, but it's a solid turd on it. Would you grab it? I probably wouldn't. I'm not going to do it. And you know why? It's $10. That's all you have to do is give one solid turd.
Leave that turd dollar on the pavement, which means sign up at least for the $10 tier at Burn Ends. But just so you get access to the Burn Ends club, where you get to interact with the players with the Ask Me Anything. You get to interact with the players as they post and read your comments and reply. And the $25 tier, you get a car magnet, not a sticker, so We're not going to vandalize anybody's cars, and an Arctic Cup with these badass logos that we created.
Oh, yeah.
And then the $50 tier, you get all of that, plus every year between the end of the football season and the bowl game, we're going to have a dinner with all of the tight ends where all the $50 a month donators that have been since August until December or equivalent will be able to go and have that dinner with the players and interact with them, get to ask them any questions, maybe participate in some memorabilia being auctioned off, and have a really good time with these guys.
Yeah, Pinkerton's Barbecue is going to host it. Pinkerton's is going to help. You get to eat Pinkerton's Barbecue. That alone is worth $50 a month. I mean, so like, it's just not that. What's shocking to me is how many people have only signed up for the $10 a month. For me, the $25 a month. When y'all have seen the gear that we've put together, just wait. So we're going to have like a legitimate shop up soon. So even if you're part of the Burn-Ins group, you'll also have, opportunities to buy more gear, swag, whatever. And like we said, we're not receiving a fucking red dime from that. It's going straight into the tight end room. I work with FedEx, and even your shipping is going to be included, and all the profits go directly to the tight end room. So it is literally like if you buy one fucking koozie, literally it costs us $1, and if it costs you $9, the tight end room gets $8 fucking dollars. Like it's all going to be there, and we are going to be able to do whatever you want. If you want polos, that's probably the next thing we're going to do. Because I'm a polo guy, I'm a Mexican polo guy. Like we're probably going to do a bunch of polos, mouse pads, whatever the fuck you want. We will make.
We do already have shirts. Shirts will be here probably by the time you're listening to this podcast. Yep. Shirts will be available to order. We have men's small all the way through men's extra large. They will be a limited run for now.
Double X and for you. Yeah. If you're a thick boy, we got thick boy shirts too.
We do have thick boy shirts. And we're doing it, right? We're in there. So, in other news, because Burnt Ends is not the only thing happening in the world surprising or not surprising, is there is now official from Sark himself, a starting quarterback for the University of Texas Longhorns football team.
Called first on the Surly Horns podcast. Don't let anybody tell you any different. Even though Hudson Card has basically been the starter since Steve Sarkisian signed at the University of Texas. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. I'm just telling you guys right now, it's always been Hudson Card. It's just always been. All right. It wasn't hard to figure out. Hudson
gets the start. Per Sark's presser, he deserves the start. He's earned it, and he deserves the start. So, guy's going to get the start. It sounded like Sark is pretty confident in something. We don't know what that is because he said Casey Thompson will definitely play.
I don't think he will. So, I think that's pure. So, here's my let's make sure Casey Thompson doesn't transfer program in my brain that I think went through Steve Sarkisian's brain. And it's about to be in your ears, Surly Horns listeners. Take it for what you will, but this is straight from RGB3's dumb brain into your dumb brain. So Casey Thompson had received every single snap with the ones, the starters, all the way through the spring game. So there is a cutoff to enter the transfer portal. I believe that's July 1st. So Casey Thompson receives all the snaps with the ones. That deadline pass, and now you're seeing Hudson Card start getting run with the ones. So you're seeing that. Now finally it becomes, more, it's literally just Casey Thompson is just like an hourglass, just losing sand in his starting position until Hudson Card passes him. And at that point, finally, where it's to the point where, hey, we have a game in like 6 days. We need to name a starter. And now Hudson Card is like, oh, yeah, he's the guy. Oh, wait, Casey. Wait. You're gonna get to play too. I promise. And then guess what's going to happen? Saturday, if it's a blowout, Casey's going to play. If it's not a blowout, we just didn't really feel a rhythm to mix Casey in there. We were only up 10 points. We felt like
we heard it from the team, though. It's going to be a gorilla fucking, right?
Butt fuck. It's a gorilla boof. We're just going to call it a gorilla boof. We're going to gorilla boof the shit out of Louisiana, and Casey's going to get run.
And so Casey's going to get a ton of playing time. I wouldn't be surprised if Casey takes more snaps than Hudson Card because we're just killing him.
Gorilla Boof. Yeah, we're going to Gorilla Boof the shit out of him.
All right.
Way, Hudson Card was the best guy. The best guy won. I don't give a shit what you think about a shitty performance against Colorado. Yeah, it wasn't a shitty performance against Colorado. A shitty team in Colorado with a fucking amazing performance by Casey. He is going to do awesome. I don't think it'll be at the University of Texas if he has to come in and step in for Hudson Card. But either way, you would imagine that if Casey Thompson had earned the right to start, he would be starting. But it looks like he's not. So we have Hudson Card, who has an extra year eligibility. We're in the Hudson Card era, guys. Let's go. Until the Arch Manning era. That's coming.
All right. So now that we know QB1, let's talk about the rest of the depth chart.
I'm going to go out on a limb.
Starting.
I'm going to go out on a really big limb. All right. So I haven't really kept really good, track of practices and stuff, but I'm going out on a limb. RGB3 prediction. Running back 1, Bijan Robinson starts.
You are correct. You are
put it on the board.
You are in fact correct. So we've got Hudson Card at quarterback. We've got Bijan Robinson at running back, and then we have at the X wide receivers spot Xavier Worthy coming in hot.
True freshman.
As a freshman. Man.
People are freaking out about him. I'm super excited. He's my offensive guy to watch. Worthy is, I'm super excited to see what he does. Speed for days. They needed it.
Wide receiver Z position, Joshua Moore. Great. Awesome. Catch the fucking ball. The slot, starting Jordan Whittington. We got Jordan Whittington in the slot. Stay healthy. And damn, I mean, as much as everybody wants to say, oh, okay, what are the wide receiving core? You want to know who the twos are? Calvante Dixon, Marcus Washington, and Alvante Woodward.
Yeah, that's 4 stars right there. And you have Troy Armiri, hopefully, is going to survive at some point with his knee. If he can give us anything. I feel like the whole wide receiver thing is just so overblown. And
look, Kai Money is third in the depth chart in slot. Kai Money, he'll go in, he'll get some playing time. Whenever they swap players out and stuff. But for all you guys thinking that Kai Money is all we got at receiver, he's third on the depth chart, guys.
We should have done an NIL deal with Kai Money. Bring on the money at Surly.com. If we give him $100, he'd be thrilled. I guarantee it.
Oh, my God. That's so funny. All right, so we're going to talk about the offensive line. So starting at left tackle, redshirt junior and Christian Jones. We've got a redshirt senior, a fifth-year senior in Denzel Okafor. We've got center at redshirt freshman Jake Majors. And then at right guard, we've got redshirt junior Angelau. And then at right tackle, we've got the super senior back from significant injury, Derek Kersetter.
A fucking dead ankle. Yeah, no, it's good to see. I think the biggest thing with the entire offensive line group is just, first of all, pick up a stunt, figure out what a stunt is, and then just block. We don't have Herb Hand just butt fucking gorilla boofing our entire offensive line. We're going to actually have some decent coaching. And I think you've already seen that, even with the 995 reports about Christian Jones taking this kid that he was playing soccer in high school, and now he's a starting left tackle that people think that's going to be NFL caliber, which is going to be awesome.
And now we run with the heavies. We're going to see a lot of 2 tight end. We see a lot of 2 tight end because of these burn ends. They're going to go.
Burn ends, baby. We see a lot of 2 burn ends. Hey,
they're gonna score 25 touchdowns this season. I'm calling it now.
It's the best part of the cow. It's the best part of the cow. It's the best part of the offense. We're going to see, it's not too fatty, not too lean. We're going to see some fucking great play out of the burn ends.
All right, so starting in the one position, but we do have, they're going to share a lot of playing time, but one is fifth-year senior, Cade Brewer. Fuck yeah. Just don't line up in the slot. We got slot receivers now.
Shout out, Bob.
And Jared Wiley. Right, so no surprise there. 2 real big leaders in the locker room. Two guys that have been pretty good throughout their careers at Texas. And really, now that we're going to be leveraging tight ends, we're going to see something special out of those two guys. And then a surprise at number 3 on the depth chart is a true freshman in Gunnar Helm. And let me tell you what, guys, Gunnar Helm.
What a great first name.
Yeah, great first name. Yeah, but he's also enormous. He's big.
So I'm backing myself for both 6 foot, 6'1". We look like absolute dwarves in the picture that you've already seen at this point. These are large dudes. Like, you could tell they're like 19-year-old kids, and they just tower over us. It's crazy.
Yeah, they are very, very large humans. So that's it. That's the ones and some into the further of the depth chart of the offense. Now let's talk defense, because if you think that offense is something to get excited about, well, you need to go change your pants or put a diaper on, whatever you're going to do, because you're about to lose control of your genital and bowel region.
Just say you're going to come in a diaper. It's just you can
go ahead, slip that condom on, because here we go,
dude. So before we get into the starters, PK, I got to do it one more time. I got to say, this dude is going to be an absolute fucking killer. He's never given up 35 points in his entire coaching career. That is insane. He's never just had one like bad game where it's like, oh yeah, they scored 44 and we fucking lost. He's never given up 35 points. We average with Tom Turtle fucking Herman more than 35 points a game. I actually don't know if that's a true stat, but it seems real. So I'm rolling. So there's no way we ever lose a game again because we have PK, because this defense is going to be salty as fuck.
Oh, salty. And like from some of the players, when the players are getting out there and being confident enough to say, we're going to give people problems. People are going to get worn out. They're going to hate playing against us. We haven't heard that kind of talk from the defense or really any part of the team since the Mac Brown era, when people were, when we had Sergio Kendall and Brian Arakpo, and the 2 deep was insane and just filled with crazy amounts of talent. We're about to go over this starting roster. The starting 11 on defense is absolutely nasty.
It really, and especially the defensive line. The defensive line, so that's the one point of emphasis I want to make is whenever we go over the defensive line, I want y'all to make sure whenever you think about Keandre Coburn or T'Vondre Sweat, I want you to think about the level of competition they're going to be going against. For instance, Louisiana's center, they are, I'm not even going to remember that guy's name. I can promise you, if there's one Sterling Horns podcast promise that we can make, it is I will never remember a name. But whatever, I'm going to go with Joe Bob Hebert because he's from Louisiana, and he's the center for Louisiana. And he is legitimately, and this is not me just not remembering his name, he is 5'10", 270 pounds. That is embarrassing. Keandre Coburn is like 6'2".
He is 6'2", 346.
340. So he has 3 inches and 60 pounds on this guy.
And he's faster than him. Anyway.
Faster. And we can rotate him with Alfred Collins and like this quarterback for Louisiana.
You have obviously not looked at all at the depth chart. Let's go through it. We've got grad transfer Ray Thornton playing the Buck, right? Which I guess is kind of the weak side jack is what a Buck is. I don't know what the Buck position is. And backing him up is another grad transfer from Notre Dame, Ovie Gufu.
Sounds good.
Sounds
right.
That guy is good. And then we've got DJ Harris Jr. on the 3D. Like, anybody that you're rotating into that position is a scary dude. But Ray Thornton is like a goon's goon, right? That dude is not someone you want to be lining up against. Then at nose tackle, we're starting Keandre Coburn. T'Vondre Sweat backing him up. Byron Murphy, the second, is third position there. So you're going to see some of that rotation. At defensive tackle, we've got Boro Ojimo. and Vernon Broughton backing him up. Oh my God. Right? This is just a 1 and 2 deep. Like, who wants to line up against just the 2 deep?
The backup's going to be better than their starters.
At Jack, we've got Jacoby Jones, a senior transfer starting, and we've got Alfred Collins backing up Jacoby Jones.
Which is crazy.
Jack.
Future first-round pick Alfred Collins is playing out of position so he can play. That's what's crazy to me. They wanted to get this guy on the field so badly that they moved this guy to a position that is not familiar to him. He's going to be able to play it fine. But this, like, if you haven't seen, everybody's seen Alfred Collins. I don't even know what I'm talking about. He's a huge motherfucker, but he's also super athletic. As you can see in the Alamo Bowl, when he made that stupid, like, Odell Beckham, like, one-handed pick catch. Like, this guy is unreal. And the fact that he's our backup Jack, dude, there's not an offensive line that we will face this year, bar none. And I don't want to hear any arguments. There's not an offensive line that we will face this year that is going to be better than our defensive line. And it is a fact. And if you have anything to say, you can kiss my fucking butthole because it's not true.
All right. Then at will, we've got none other than Demo, right? Yep. I mean, that man, pay this man his money, right? If you have not bought some of his gear, you need to get your ass into gear and buy some of his stuff.
Shout out Mike at Last Stand. Yeah, shout out Mike at Last Stand Hats. He's doing awesome work. Overshown's one of his guys. Go buy a bunch of shit.
Can't wait to see what happens there. Then at middle linebacker, or Mike, we've got Luke Brockermeyer.
The only Brockermeyer we like.
Fuck the Brocs.
Fuck the Brocs, except Luke. Fuck the Brocs, except Luke. And his granddad.
So Ovie Gufu did make the first stringers, right? But he's backing up the Bucks, but he is the first position, Sam. Then we've got at cornerback, Josh Thompson. At the other corner, we've got Deshaun Jameson. Wow. And then free safety, we have a former wide receiver who now plays free safety in Brendan Schooler. And then we've got BJ Foster rounding it out, but strong safety. So
who's going to hit like a ton of bricks. I think this, like, if I have to pick a breakout player for the offense and a breakout player for the defense, offense, I'm going with Xavier Worthy. It's probably a cop-out. It's his first year. Whatever. He's going to be awesome. If I have to pick out a breakout player for the defense, I'm going with BJ Foster. I think this is finally the year. I mean, he's a 5-star. This is finally the year he puts it all together where he realizes I don't have to just hammer fuck the ever-loving shit out of everybody I tackle, and I can just wrap up and bring him to the ground. I think he's going to be awesome this year. I think he's going to avoid some injuries, and I think he's going to be everything we thought he was going to be when he first signed.
All right, so on special teams, Dick or the kicker with the clean sweep.
Yeah. He's also kick returning, so not just kicking. And
kicker is special teams.
Yeah,
congrats to Dicker,
nightmare.
Congrats to Dicker, the kicker, with all of his NIL success. He's doing really funny stuff. If you haven't seen those commercials, go look at him on YouTube. Maybe use that guy for roofing, maybe don't, but definitely give a shout out to Dicker the kicker on Twitter. Give him a follow, give him a like. He's a funny guy. He's got a really good personality.
That might need to be our next position group that we sponsor. Just the special teams in general. Like, I would love Lance St. Louis for the deep snapper that we signed for this next year. Like, let's just do the special teams next, because they're not unless you have a name like Dicker, you're not seeing a red dime from anybody.
All right, and then Deshaun Jameson is returning all kicks.
Everything.
So.
And getting drafted.
Xavier Worthy we may see him a little bit on punt returns. And Rojo's going to be back up. He's going to be back there as the second if they kick it a weird way for kick returns. So hopefully we get to see some Deshaun Jameson action, and people don't just like punt it out of bounds and constantly kick it out of bounds or out of the back of the end zone. And we actually get to see some of that, because I think that's going to be shades of Jordan Shipley if we ever get to see some of those returns.
Over under 2.5 special teams touchdowns. You know what? No, not special teams. Overall touchdowns. I'll include defensive for Deshaun Jameson. 2.5 this year.
Oh, I thought you meant against Louisiana. I was like under.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm not that confident. Over, way over. Yeah, he gets 2 either pick sixes or punt returns or kick returns for touchdown for sure.
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
3 or more.
Yeah, I would say he gets 1 punt, 1 kick, 1 interception at least. I think that's 3 easy touchdowns for Deshaun Jameson, who I think is going to be a top 3 round pick coming up next year.
I mean, this defense is wow, right? I mean that is scary. Good luck scoring against those guys, and now.
It's so you have the talent there, and then I'm going to go back to PK. So you have all this talent, and this guy has been covering people with 2-star talent at Washington, and now he gets this 4 or 5-star talent at Texas. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, this guy gave Mike Leach fucking fits forever. Like I can't remember the stat, but I don't know if he ever gave up 20 points to a Mike Leach led offense. That's insane, and that's like all he's going to face in the Big 12. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to hold opponents to 21 or less and score 50 or more. That's gonna be pretty cool.
It sounds pretty cool.
It's gonna be pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit about the NFL because the 53-man roster cut that just happened a couple days ago, and we have some Longhorns that made some rosters.
Yeah, we do. We also have some Longhorns that missed some rosters. Malik Jefferson has been bouncing around forever. That guy just can't find a home. It's crazy to me. I mean, he's so athletic, and it's I'll put the blame a little bit on guys like Todd Orlando, where it's like I don't think he was developed to the level that he should have.
But he got cut by Urban Meyer.
Yeah,
he's in all kinds of shit for cutting players because of their vaccine status.
No clue.
Weird deal there. But let's talk about some people that made some rosters.
Yep.
Sam Ehlinger has got a busted knee.
Yep.
But still played good enough apparently to make the 53-man. So Sam Ehlinger, shout out, hook 'em. You did great. Good job. You're not a starter in the NFL, but you are in fact a drafted NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he's got that guaranteed money cashing now. And Joseph Osai looks like he busted his knee as well, and he's going to be out for the year, which is awful because in the preseason, supposedly he was just lighting folks up. Supposedly he was just killing folks.
Still made the 53-man, so they're not cutting Osai. So that's great. Then we had Lil Jordan made the roster.
Yep, finally. He deserved to forever. He looked great. I mean, he never should have left Texas. I know he had some extra reasons to leave, but it's great to see him, especially with the Saints, dealing with some wide receiver injuries and stuff, and you can kind of insert him. I mean, he's always been so talented. I'm still kind of shocked that he didn't get drafted in the first place.
Yeah. And then I guess who else? I don't know that there's a lot of people that didn't miss the roster, right? I mean, we got Colin Johnson got cut,
which is crazy.
Derek Gilbert got cut. Shane Buechele got cut. I know these guys didn't graduate from Texas, but they were Texas.
Hassan Ridgeway got cut. A couple others. Brennan Eagles got cut from the Cowboys. Tariq Black from the Colts. Yeah, there were a couple other guys, but yeah, it's not. I don't think there was anything unexpected or shocking with any of these cuts. Or I think the biggest thing for us is this is such a side note for us on the podcast with the NFL stuff because we haven't had like legitimate players to root for forever. We don't have a lot of first round picks to like follow and keep track of. So hopefully in the next couple of years we'll have something more of substance. We don't need to talk about cuts anymore.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So football of all kinds is back, right? I mean, we started week 0. We don't need to talk too much about how fucking terrible Nebraska is at football and how out of depth Scott Frost is as a head football coach.
Shout out Brett Bielema, baby. Brett Bielema.
Doing worse than Charlie Strong. Oh my God. That guy's a bad coach.
I
A
am
bad coach. We
shocked.
lost half of our game plan because they lined up with a 4-man front. What a fucking idiot.
That was a shocking quote. That was one of the worst coaching quotes I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, we lost our game plan because they lined up differently. It's like, bro, it is legitimately your job to figure that out. And so frankly, I'm shocked that it's gone this bad for him. I thought for sure. And I guess it's me buying into everybody goes to UCF and they end up being fucking awesome because they get, the decent recruits that Miami didn't want, Florida State didn't want, Florida didn't want. So they're getting like the 4th tier Florida recruits. They're getting some, JUCO guys. Like, they're getting some decent guys through the program, especially like some good fucking athletes. But the worst part about all of it is they don't realize that you can't get those guys at Nebraska. Like, you have to recruit nationally because you're not getting just like a Nebraska kid that grew up down the road that is just like, oh, fuck yeah. Like, you might get one lineman a year from Nebraska. When is the last?
Scott Frost is so stupid that he passed on Joe Burrow. Have you looked at their quarterback depth chart? It's ridiculous.
It's been Martinez.
It's ridiculous.
It's been Adrian Martinez or AJ Martinez or whoever the fuck is guy. Ever since Eric Crouch, you cannot convince me otherwise. Ever since Eric Crouch,
that game Martinez. Was bad. Nebraska is trash. They may not win 4 games this season. Illinois, not good either, but definitely able to play football. They field a football team. They'll win. They may be bowl eligible. They play football.
Bart Bielema coming in hot, man.
Oh, dude,
he's looking thick, baby. He was looking fat with a PH.
Okay, so UCLA looking pretty good. I mean, who knows how bad Hawaii is, but wow. Zach Charbonnet is a very good running back, and I followed him very closely at Michigan, and I was super bummed whenever he transferred because Michigan has lots of trouble, right, and all over the place. And Charbonnet was just running people over. They scored. It looked like a Chip Kelly team, right? They have potential to score lots of touchdowns. The defense was okay. And they passed the sniff test. But you know what doesn't pass the sniff test? The fucking crowd that they brought to one of the best stadiums to watch a college football game in.
Oh my God, it was awful.
In the country. How do you show only 33,800 fans out in the Rose Bowl?
It looked terrible. And they did drone shots and shit. It looked terrible. And so Charbonnet looked good, but their quarterback, 10 of 20 for 130 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards per attempt. We'll see. I don't know.
I bet Hawaii could beat Louisiana, and I bet UCLA gets curb stomped by Texas.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But, I think UCLA, especially people are talking about, because they play LSU next, I think. So, if you're talking about them upsetting LSU, good fucking luck.
I think it's going to be a game. They had to give away tickets. They gave away tickets to poor kids. They gave away tickets to sick kids. They gave away tickets to any kind of immigrant kids. So they really, they begged everyone to come with free tickets because they were so embarrassed on the national stage that the Rose Bowl had no people in it. So the LSU game, I wouldn't be surprised if there's more purple and gold in the crowd than some powder blue and gold. I'm just saying.
I don't think California will be able to handle the Tiger fans just storming their stadium.
Suck that Tiger dick, bitch!
Play neck.
Oh, man. Those are the only 2 games that we're going to talk about because everything else was hot
Doesn't
garbage.
matter.
But there was a game. There was a game on Sunday. There was a very important game on Sunday betwixt IMG Football Academy of Florida and I have no fucking idea where Bishop Sycamore is from.
Bishop Sycamore from Ohio, supposedly, but I don't think they know where they're technically from. This is my favorite story in the past 10 years. This is a fake team, a fake football team, and they didn't dupe just IMG Academy. They duped Duncanville was supposed to play him this week. They duped so many teams. Basically, they sold themselves as, I think it was Ohio.
No, the IMG. They said the IMG of Ohio is what. They said.
The IMG of Ohio, and like it was legitimately not a school. Like the head coach had a warrant out for his arrest, like an active felony warrant for fraud, just out while he's on ESPN. It was insane. It was so fucking funny. Like if you watched it, you could tell the announcers just weren't comfortable because so these guys that were playing for Sycamore, they were like 22, 23 years old, and they were getting absolutely destroyed by 16 and 17-year-old guys from IMG. Like they got rolled. My favorite play maybe I've ever seen of all time was it was like 4th and 10 on their 10-yard line, and they're like, we're not sure if they're going to go for it or if they're going to punt, but the punter and the quarterback are the same guy. So the quarterback takes a fucking shotgun snap. He's like 3 yards away from, and he tries to throw it, and instead he drops to punt it, and the guy just blocks it immediately. Like there were 15 guys in the backfield to block it, and it just goes straight out of the end zone. They weren't even close to competitive, even though they were like 4 or 5 years older. It was so fucking good. They fooled everybody.
It's incredible. It's incredible how money hungry and blind ESPN is. That they're just like, yeah, sure, whatever. High school football, top prospects, SEC. They just turned their brain off and they said, sure, yeah, you guys are going to play a fake high school that we're not going to do any research for. They literally didn't show up to the ESPN pregame. Like they didn't show up. Like the coaches show up and like brief the announcers, and they're like, "This is a guy to watch for. This is like how he's been practicing." They like tell them the backstories of all the players. Like that's how those guys learn about it. Is they go to these meetings, and the Bishop Sycamore coach literally does not show up. How do you not just say, "Fuck it, we're not going to put that game on TV. We're going to find something else. We'll replay another college football. Like we'll do something else,
anything."
Because we cannot let this game be played, right? It's crazy. It's dangerous for the kids.
Somebody could get hurt. That's what's crazy. Somebody could get hurt. Like it was like 55 to like 0.
They played on Friday night.
Yeah.
This was their second game in 3 days.
Yeah,
they only have 30. They only have 33 players. That means they have lots of people playing both sides, and they're playing games in 2 days. They don't practice.
They don't pay them anything either. Like
if you want to go read about the deep and dark world that is Bishop Sycamore, there's a great article out there written by the the guys from Complex or
yeah.
Like crazy shit. Go read that article.
How did they get away with it?
It's insane. Nobody knows.
But speaking of recruits, we need to talk about some of our recruits.
Okay. I mean, I'm listening.
Bo Davis, he's a fucking god. He's the best. Bo Davis is insane. Bo Davis he came in all gas, no brakes. I can't speak for the rest of the coaching staff. Some of them have done fine. Some of them have done terribly. Bo Davis is a godsend. Thank you, Bo Davis. I love you. I want you to listen to this podcast.
On these hoes.
And I want you to know that you are currently stunning on this hose. And I just love you. I love your face. I love your vibe. I love everything about you. Just keep getting recruits like this. So we have gotten three Bo Davis recruits since our last podcast. We got Aaron Bryant out of Mississippi. We got Jeray Bledsoe out of Bremond, Texas. Shout out Ramonce Taylor, who's a coach there. And we got Jamon Taps straight out of the boot, baby. Straight out of Louisiana. And those are 3 SEC like breeding grounds that we like. Bledsoe is going to A&M if we're not SEC. Tap is going to LSU. Bryant is going to Ole Miss or Mississippi State. Like, this is not an easy pull for us, and Bo Davis is making that shit look easy because he's a fucking beast. And you add those 3 guys plus Swanson and Chris Ross, who might be my favorite defensive prospect in the class. Holy shit. This guy fucks.
It's wow. Right? It's wow. And you think about that coming in to backfill the not super loaded at the top end that's graduating, and you're just like, wow. Even if they are on the too deep for a year or two, it's just like this is almost going to turn into like a factory for
Yep.
defensive linemen to come through, and you come to the University of Texas to just be the best defensive lineman. Right?
Yeah, screw being DBU. Let's be DLU. Let's go. Let's do it. I would rather have a better defensive line than a defensive back room. I mean, defensive line is going to cover up for defensive backs all day, every day. I mean, if a corner can cover for 3 seconds, I'd rather a defensive lineman pressure a quarterback and get it out in 2 seconds.
Okay, so recruiting is lit. But we do need to talk about one more thing before we pivot away from football entirely. And that is season predictions. We've already done this, right? This was season 2, episode 6. If you want to hear us not knowing shit about shit, this was way before even the spring game. We had no idea
who the starter was. We didn't know who the quarterback starter was. We didn't know shit.
We literally knew absolutely nothing, and out from our brains through our plums, we came up with these numbers. So, Louisiana, do you remember what you predicted?
I predicted a win. Did I give a number to it?
Oh, all right. You don't remember anything. So,
no.
44-21.
I predict now 48-14 Texas.
All right.
48 for Jake. 48 for Jake. It's going to happen. 48 for Jake. It's going to happen.
Okay. So, we've got 48 to what?
14.
Okay.
We gorilla boof them, baby.
Gorilla boof. The Arkansas game, 32-28. Close game.
38-28, Texas.
Okay. You're giving a little bit more padding.
A little bit more.
I don't know. I don't even know how the fuck we got 32. That's a weird number.
I don't know how I'm going to do any of these numbers. So
Rice, 64-3.
64-0. We don't give up anything.
63-0 because it's hard to score 64.
No, we'll figure it out. 2-point conversions.
Okay, 64-0.
64-0.
Right. You heard it here first. Hopefully the tight ends don't listen to the podcast, but maybe we'll let them know. 64 is a good number.
That's a number.
Nintendo 64. So Tech, 55-19.
I'm going 55-18. Seems right. Seems like good numbers.
Seems good. TCU, 38-34. I disagree with that number.
I disagree as well. 34-28 Texas.
Oh wow. You're still saying it's close. I don't believe it's going to be close. You and I, sir, we disagree here. And
it's on the road, right? It's at TCU.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a 52-7 game. That's what I think. I'm real confident. The cockroaches must be stomped.
I love it. That would tickle my plums a lot.
Okay, OU. We said 44-34 OU.
I'm changing it. I'm going 40-34 OU.
Okay.
So we still lose by a touchdown. It's close down the stretch. We don't eke it out yet.
Okay. I am going 35-25 Texas.
I love it.
Because it just feels like that is what should happen.
I love it. I hope we're right. I hope you're more right in this case.
Okay. Oklahoma State, 58-21. This is what we said when we knew absolutely dick.
I'm keeping it. I think they're fucking ass. I think we whipped the shit out of Oklahoma State this year.
All right. Baylor, 44-16. I keep that too. I don't know.
Way more. I think we hang 50 on them.
60? Okay,
50 to 13.
50-13.
I think we whipped the shit out of Baylor, as they fucking deserve to, you rapist bitches.
All right. So, Iowa State, 34-24 Texas.
I like it. I'm keeping that. that.
Okay. Kansas State, 100-0.
Actually, I'm going to go 101-0.
101-0. Something tells me we're going to be a little off on that one.
No, I don't. I mean,
I said a little bit.
What did we score against Kansas State with Tom Herman? That was like 60 or something fucking crazy, right? Yeah. 100's easy. 100's nothing with Sark.
West Virginia. Oh no, that's Kansas, not Kansas State. My bad.
Then 102
That's
to 0.
101 to 0 actually makes a lot of sense for Kansas State. I don't even know that they have a football team this year. West Virginia, 38-14 is what we said.
I'm going 28-44 Texas. So we score more. 44-28 Texas.
But they score more too. Okay.
Yeah, they score a little bit more. Our defense is lining up a little bit.
Kansas State, 36-21.
No, more than that. 44-38. Whoa. 18. 44-18. 44-18. We blow them out. We're gorilla poofing all these guys. I don't care how wrong I am.
All right, so that is your predictions. One loss to OU guarantees into a rematch situation, at least with OU or someone else that lost less than OU. I don't know, but Big 12 championship game because we're going to the Big 12 championship. That is happening.
And we beat OU. What was my prediction? Do you have that down?
55-22.
55-22?
Yeah.
Keeping it. 55-22.
All right.
Texas wins Big 12, and we lose to number 1 Alabama in the college football playoff. Number 1 versus number 4.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. That's what we had. And number 1.
And eat my balls if I'm wrong. But I'm going to be right.
Know. Who cares what the score is? But it will be number 4 Texas versus number 1 Alabama somewhere in the playoffs. But I wouldn't mind now that we know that the SEC is imminent. 1 season away from playing an all SEC schedule in conference. It would be kind of cool for Texas to beat Texas A&M to win a national championship.
But they also suck ass. They're also
they're
awful.
terrible.
They're also terrible. And whenever you think
not even close.
Don't even believe the hype. They're going to be fucking terrible. Even if they're going to win 10 games. I'm just laying it out for you. But I beg you, dear Surly Horns listeners, go look at their fucking schedule. It is truly atrocious. Awful. It is fucking terrible. And they're just going to squeak their way through with a shitty quarterback, no wide receivers. They're going to run it a billion times. They're going to try to throw it to their tight end a billion times. They are going to have a really goddamn good defense. But eventually, Mike Elko is going to leave, and they're going to be left ruinous like they normally are. We haven't even talked about.
Are they actually going to have a good defense?
I think they will. I actually do. And as much as I want to shit on them,
they can't seem. The reason I say that is because they can't seem to keep any of the players.
That's true. And I think their front seven is going to be fucking nasty, but their defensive backs, they're inexperienced, and we'll see. But again, we haven't even talked about Jimbo's his crazy contract extension for no reason. He only had 7 years, like $7.5 million per. And they just like, hey, we want to suck your dick a little bit, and like, hey, here's an extra $2 million a year. Never leave us, daddy. Like, that's legitimately what they said. Like,
I thought it was so funny and cute that everybody was like, yeah, but they're gonna put teeth in it. It's gonna have a buyout on this one, and it's like there is no fucking buyout. There's no fucking buyout. They
literally didn't. Like, if he wants to, like, if LSU just wanted to like walk over and was like, hey, Jimbo, do you want to coach for us? Here's the exact same contract that you have right now. He could still just like walk to Baton Rouge, and there would be nothing A&M could do except cry, which is poor Aggie is what they're used to doing. So
yep. So with that, and on that note, Aggie Fact of the Week.
That would be great if I had my Aggie Fact of the Week book, but I don't. So my Aggie Fact of the Week is, let me come up with it. So my Aggie
sucks. Hold on, let's look.
No. I got it. I got my Aggie Fact of the Week right here. My Aggie Fact of the Week is they win this week against Kent State. All right, here's my Aggie Fact of the Week. All right, my Aggie Fact of the Week is their schedule this year. September 4th, Kent State win. At Colorado, win. Versus New Mexico. Are you fucking kidding me? Kent State, Colorado, New Mexico is your opening fucking schedule. They don't play a real football game for a goddamn month. Win, win, win. Congratulations. You're halfway to being bowl eligible because you played FCS teams. You kidding me? Then they play Arkansas. Win, because we're going to fucking gorilla boof them as well. Mississippi State, ready for it? Fucking loss. You're going to lose to Mike Leach, you bitches. Guess what? Back-to-back losses. You play Alabama. Loss. Missouri, win. South Carolina, garbage, win. Auburn, close. It's at home. I'll give them the edge, win. Ole Miss, on the road. The offense is going to crush you, win. Or sorry, loss for you. They win. Ole Miss wins. Prairie View A&M? What? Prairie View A&M? I am shocked. Why not just schedule a bye week? What? Are you kidding me? I'm offended. They play Kent State, Colorado, New Mexico, and Prairie View A&M for 4 free wins? I am offended. Right. I'm offended. Okay, fine. They win there, and then they lose to LSU. They lose 4 games. Bitches.
Damn. Bitches. Okay, so I did find a fact. Texas A&M finished in the top 4 of the AP poll in 2020. If the Aggies continued at their current pace of top 4 finishes in the 3 major sports, baseball, basketball, and football, and Texas won none or was never ranked in the top 4 ever again, they will surpass Texas's current top 4 finishes by count in the year 3154.
Oh my God. I wasn't ready for the 3 in front of it. I wasn't ready for the 31. That is insane.
Oh, man.
That is insane.
All right. Cue the music. What discontinued food do you want them, I don't know who them is, to bring back?
The man. We want the man to bring back. Easy answer for me. So, originally it would have been a lot harder, but they just brought back cream savers. And if you don't remember what cream savers are, you didn't grow up in like the 2002 to like 2008 era. Because cream savers were the shit. Shout out Altoid Sours as well. Also awesome. But the only thing I want to bring back, and I don't know if they have already, I can't imagine that they haven't, the cheesy Fiesta potatoes at Taco Bell. They got rid of those for no reason at all. It was the best thing on their menu.
You should go try the potato olays at Taco John's.
I don't know where a Taco John's is. Actually, I don't even know if you made that up. You might have created
potato olays are definitely a real thing, and Taco John's is a Midwestern like Taco Bueno thingy. I don't know. They have potato olays, which are the closest thing that I can think of to cheesy Fiesta potatoes from Taco Bell.
Cheesy Fiesta potatoes are insane. You know what I used to do? So I used to get a chili cheese burrito, and then I get the cheesy Fiesta potatoes, and I dump those into the chili cheese burrito. Holy shit. You get the potato, the extra chili, all the cheese in there. It's insane. Taco Bell, just stick with your originals. We don't need nacho fries. They're delicious. They're great. You give us the cheese with them. Just stick to your original, cheesy Fiesta potatoes. That's all we need. Just give us those. Give me the quesadilla, the number 7 quesadilla meal steak with the taco and the Baja Blast. I'm a happy man forever. And shout out the Baja sauce, the quesadilla sauce or whatever. You can buy that shit at H-E-B now. It's incredible.
And this was a limited time thing at McDonald's, but I still try and order this, and it never fucking turns out right. Ever. But I've tried this before, and it's worked, and then they actually had it on the menu, and it was called the Grand Mac, and it was the Big Mac with quarter-pound patties.
Oh, fuck yeah. Now you're talking. How did they not? Yeah, that's...
And they got rid of that. And I still try and order Big Macs with quarter-pound patties. And they're like, yeah, boop, boop, boop. And then I see it on the screen. and it says
Just Big Mac.
quarter pounder, no bread, no blah blah blah, and then Big Mac. And I don't care that it's $7. Doesn't matter to me. And I open the Big Mac box, and all that there is a Big Mac with no meat.
Oh my god!
And then I furiously look through the bag, and
Like
I'm like, maybe they just put the
bottom of
patties.
fucking-
Maybe they just put the patties separately in a different box. There was no other box
This
with
is
patties.
bread.
I
Bread and
got
lettuce.
bread, the lettuce, the pickles, the Big Mac sauce, 3 buns, pickles on the bottom. Like, it looked like a fucking Big Mac.
Just no meat.
There was just no meat at all on the Big Mac.
Oh, that's fucking great.
I got fucked, but that used to be a menu item, and they should bring it back. That should always be on the menu, and it should probably, I mean, I'm cool with it costing $7, but it probably should cost more like $5.99 or like $6.25.
How many
like
calories
that.
do you think that burger is? Just like that one.
1,300.
It's got to be.
Yeah,
Plus the
1,300.
fries, like, yeah, you're looking at a good meal. Like, that's a solid, like, that's gonna fill you. That's a solid fill you meal.
All right. And with that, I think we have reached the end.
Go sign up.
Episode 3.
BurnEndsNIL.com. Tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your sister, tell fucking everybody. Blast this shit everywhere. The players are going to have fun with it. We're going to have fun with it. Everybody's getting paid. Everybody's going to have fun. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.